Dennis Ben, the owner of Little Learning Daycare at Ogle on the east coast of Demerara, was today slapped with a manslaughter charge, to the disappointment of her attorney Dexter Todd. The charge came following the death of 7-month-old Uriah Zandy. The postmortem report revealed that the child died from hemorrhage and compression to the neck. The 57-year-old woman was not required to plead to the charge when she appeared in the Spirandale Magistrates Court this morning before Magistrate Alicia George. Our attorney Dexter Todd told members of the media that the charge was bad in law and he was disappointed.
So you are sending a bad message to society by this charge, and I'm very disappointed in it. Because this is, at the end of the day, this is not justice. Justice is not, I know that the parents, this is a very sad thing. This is a very sad occasion where the child died, and I sympathize with the family. But sympathizing with the family required you to be very objective and required you to say, all right, there are some question marks here and we are not able to say exactly what happened, but let us approach the science. Because where eyes can't tell you what happened, let's approach the science. And the science can't be taking the child to a pathologist and just having an examination, and that's the end of it. Because it still would not lead you to what actually occurred and what is internally happened with the child. And that is important. That is important because a forensic pathologist would be able to tell you the injuries, the time the child received those injuries, and whether the injuries were compounded by anything. Only a forensic pathologist can tell you that. So I am surprised in such a matter that there was no aid, there was no request to have an expert from overseas come to assist them in investigating such a matter. So what they did was, because the public pressure is saying, okay, charge, you just put the woman before the court. So when the charge failed now, again, the parents and the family have to relive this all over again. And then they are going to say, well, then you see, the justice system is bad in the country and they corrupt and so. But from the inception, if they explain this to them and understand here, listen, while you want justice, justice is not charging the wrong person. Justice is not saying put somebody before the court so that at the end of the day, everyone could say, well, okay, the owner of the daycare was charged. When in fact, the facts doesn't show that this woman did anything to the child. So this is a disappointment. That's all I will say.
Fordy said no allegation was put to the accused.
There is no allegation. What the nature or how they frame that charge, there is no allegation put to the accused person that she did anything physically to the child. So if you have that absent out, then how do you even attempt to establish the elements of manslaughter? Now, negligence is if you take that objectively, now you have to judge from when the child was observed by the accused. What did she do? From the facts of the police, when the child was observed as to not responding, she sought medical attention immediately for the child by sending her with the daughter. Now, you can't view that as negligence. Now, if your thinking is that that the owner of the daycare was negligent, then you have to establish that. How is it that she was negligent? And you have to take that not from a subjective standpoint, you have to take that from an objective standpoint. There is no daycare in the world where someone will sit over a child or stand over a child and watch them sleep from the time they put them down. Not even a parent does that.
Ben will make her next court appearance on May 10th. The baby died 2 weeks ago, and a probe was launched by the Child Care and Protection Agency into the matter. Following the completion of the investigation, a file was completed and sent to the DPP for legal advice. The DPP recommended that the owner be charged with manslaughter. The parents of the deceased child said they got a call from the daycare saying that their baby was unresponsive. The baby was rushed to the Industry Health Center to seek medical attention, and she was later transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. The daycare has been in operation for 27 years, but never had a license to operate.